The topic is surviving Nigeria. Can you still build wealth without connections? So be honest, does Nigeria still work without connection? Like in Nigeria, does hard work still beat connection?
Okay, yeah, in my perspective, um, hard work hard work helps, right? Like it's more like it's something that you must do, you must put in the work, right? But at the end of the day, like connection is like an advantage. And there's something I used to say, even in my book I wrote it like, you know, leverage on your advantage. So in Nigeria now, as it is, even if you are um even if you are the best of the best, if you don't know who controls power, because wealth actually has to do with power too. So if you're someone that is saying that you could build wealth solely, yes, you could be happy, you know, but kind of like wealth that is resounding, right, still needs certain amount of influence that has to do with power. So at the end of the day, connection. That's if you're looking at connection from the concept of like um political, right? Connection could also,
Nepotism.
yeah, like nepo babies and all. But connection could also be, you know, your friend that you know that, you know. So basically, I don't think you can actually even build wealth solely alone, like without connection. In Nigeria, yeah,
You must always need some form of connection.
one like you reach a stumbling block that you need somebody to say something for you, or if you might not know the person, right? You know, something like that.
Okay.
Connection.
In Nigeria, does hard work still beat connection?
I don't think there has been a point where hard work has beat connection before. That is honest, just working hard, because it's just like you can be applying to a company. Now this company has said in their mind that they're not accepting any new hire, but now you have someone that will now speak for you to the MD or somebody, just like okay, like you didn't have to now go through that manual process again, because you can be working hard submitting applications, tweaking, but then they say they're not taking her, but that call from someone that you know was what opened that door for you. So I don't think there's been a point where you can just be working hard. Yes, working hard can take you far, but I feel that there is a ceiling that you eventually hit with just hard work, that
You need someone to say
something for you. You need someone to stand in the gap for you, because let's say now you can build wealth. You can build it today, and the government can decide and say, no, we want to take this your house. Your house is on top of something, but if you have
landmark
exactly
in
in Lagos, so but you can be like, if someone can stand in the gap for you and be like, no, this particular house, do not touch this house. That is a form of connection that has protected the so-called wealth that you thought that you had. You understand? So you need connection.
So
interesting.
So today we are talking about money, class, opportunities, privileges, talents, assets, and whether a young person can still build something real without knowing somebody. This is Chops and Advice by Seven and Sunset. Each player has 5 tiles. Only factual answers move the tile, and first to finish wins. Question 1: what is capital in business? A. Money or resource used to start or grow a business.
A.
Correct. You never allow me mention the options, but it's correct. But is lack of capital, you can move your tail. Is lack of capital the biggest reasons many Nigerians dream die?
Yes. Lack of capital is one of the major factors why dreams die, because when there's something that we call analysis paralysis. Let's say whenever you want to start something new, right, you first of all analyze, and in Nigeria, the end factor where most Nigerians conclude that is, I'm not even get the money at all, but there are very few people that can see beyond that. I don't have the money, and still try and start something. You understand? So most times, once people just hit that stumbling block of I don't have the money for this, they just like back out. But most times, if you can persevere and like see beyond just that I don't have the money statement, you can see that there are other opportunities that like will open for you in that line.
Like other opportunities, like for example, now how to start real estate without money. Can I start real estate without money?
Yes. Imagine, okay, you don't have money. Let's say you have zero capital, but let's say you have an idea. First of all, there are companies in let's say wherever you're staying. Let's say Port Harcourt, for example. You can go to those companies. You say, okay, I want to start real estate. I want to sell properties for your company. if you sell a property, you get a commission. That is the way you started making money for real estate. You cannot tell them that, okay, from this commission, what is the lowest property you guys have? I want to be paying for this property in this paying for this property from this my commission. I want to pay for this property for a percentage. So with that now, if you work up a structure with the company, you can get like commissions and be paying for that your property. That is one way you can start real estate without even
having capital. In my opinion, too, I'll say that's where we base it at. But if we think about it deeply, it's not really capital. Though we have limited access to financing, but it's there, right? But there's something I usually tell people when they come to me with an idea, and then one of the reasons why they've not started is money, or if they need money, like, which is to bootstrap, like start from where you are. The major reason why many people don't start is because of the fear of the amount of work that is required to even start.
So basically, they just put lack of capital as an excuse.
Like, because at the end of the day, you could borrow. Like, some people don't want to be in debt. They don't take that risk. They are the fear of taking that risk. So they base it on capital, basically young Nigerian people.
Because I've not seen companies that start with a whole lot of money and still end up failing. So it's not necessarily money that
like those guys.
There's a company that closed down even as they are processing the amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, some companies they finish a round and they're like $8 million, and then next thing you know, they're in Miami or something.
And
my dad always tell me that even if I have like bulk money, I should always start small, test small, fail small, start that. So you learn before you put in money. So what is profit? A, money left after cost and removed from income. B, total money spent on rent. C, money borrowed from friends. D, the price of office furniture. Correct.
Sorry?
Profit.
What is profit?
No, the answer.
The answer is
money left after costs are removed from income.
Yeah.
Or if you have your own definition.
Money left after
the price of cost from income has been removed. So let's say you get an income now, you then remove the cost of what it took you to start. What is remaining out of that is your profit.
Well, to me, like, I have a contrary belief, I call that margin. Like, I call that margin. Your profits is what you make from your investments. So your margin is the money you make from your hard labor. That is, you maybe let's say I bought a land now, to sell. Okay, what's the best word to use? Or maybe even like a career person, right? 9 to 5, you earn your salary, you removed all your bills, and then you have like a miscellaneous this thing. There's some people say, okay, this is my profit, let me fix it. But I don't call that profit, that's margin. And from the understanding I have, that margin, and you can check, like, that margin needs to be invested. Then from that investment, because any money that your hard work or like you use your labor to get, it's not your profit.
It's not profit.
It's still your margin.
Okay,
you need to make money work for you.
Okay, money makes money, then it's profit.
Yes, money makes money, then it's profit. This guy.
Okay. Do people make mistakes? Do people mistake high sales for real wealth?
Sorry?
Do people mistake high sales for real wealth?
High sales,
like so many sales, like 1,000 sales, 2,000 sales.
Yeah, a lot. Yes.
But is sales wealth?
No.
Sales. Someone can be making a lot of sales but not making profit.
Yes. Yet.
You can be making sales and blowing the money.
Yeah, you can be making sales and you're paying debt also. Okay. So for people, but many people outside might be saying, maybe sold 100 plus, but that guy is still in debt basically.
Okay. What is an asset? A social media argument. B, a failed business idea. C, any expense that drains money. D, something valuable that can provide future benefit. D, correct. Who said this?
I said it first.
Okay, as Nigerians, we are taught early to build assets instead of just spending to look successful. Like, what kind of assets now? Because many parents pressure their children to buy land, even when the child self has not even balanced his business, buy land, do this. So why are we taught early to buy assets instead of just spending, building our business and all that?
I think
okay. It's because of the narrative that our parents had, or like the people of past had, that they are showed to us. So in their own time, what they were taught was immediately you have money, you can buy land, immediately you have money, you can buy land. But most of the times, it's not necessarily the right move. You cannot tell me that I make my first, let me say I make my first 1 million naira now, and you tell me I should go and use the 1 million naira and buy land. It's not wise. It's not a wise decision to make. Right, understand? So in that scenario, what you're meant to do is figure out how you invest it into yourself, so that maybe the next time you're making money, it's 10 million naira you're making. You understand? You should be able to buy land and not go broke by making investments. Exactly.
Because some people say, "Does this sell that land again?"
Exactly. Next to 3 months, they're looking for who's buying the land. Okay.
So what is a liability? A bank holiday. B, a free gift. C, something that creates financial obligation or debt.
C.
D, a profitable investment.
C.
Correct. Do people sometimes just buy liability to prove that they are doing well or out of ignorance?
I feel that I would say most at times out of ignorance, because they might feel like they're satisfying themselves, which is they're not practicing delayed gratification. Like they might feel like they are doing it for their comfort. You know, they might feel like they're doing it to please themselves, right? But in the real sense, they don't know that that's not what they're supposed to be doing now. So I will not say, because most of the times, because if you ask, you cannot assume what somebody is thinking. Basically, if you ask them why did you buy this stuff, they will never tell you like because I want to show off. Hardly, you understand? They usually say because like they'll give you a good reason. So we cannot say now we cannot say now that it is not out of ignorance. Yes, we cannot say it's to show off. Yes, but we can say that it's because they don't really know like what they should be doing with that money right now. Just like the question that he asked, he said, the scenario that he gave. I made 1 million naira now, then I will just go and invest it in land
To show that you have land.
to show that like you have land. Basically, sometimes they don't know that land that they bought might not have been the best move at that time. Yes, and still, like if you don't know what to do with the money you just made, it's still good that you can just invest it and like save it. You understand, in land, right? But what is the greatest asset you can ever invest in is in yourself.
Yeah.
So because when you increase your knowledge, you stand a better chance to even make back that money. Basically, because how will you explain that you made 1 million naira, but not you're begging for 2K to eat. So
It's crazy.
So what does networking mean? What does networking mean?
Okay, is it like an
Like question?
Yeah, question.
Okay.
I think I would say networking means kind of exchange of value.
Okay.
Yes, because you can meet people, but when you're meeting people or when you're networking, you're doing it because of value, right? You're networking for a reason. You're connecting for a reason. So I would say networking is kind of like exchange of value, like building a relationship because of value. So it's kind of like networking. I think that's how I would explain it.
Okay.
Yeah. Most times people confuse socializing with networking, right? So because I can go to an event and talk to 10 people and I go. That was I talk to 10 people, I collect their numbers and I go. They will just end up as status viewers of my phone. But networking, I can go to an event and meet just 2 people, and these 2 people I meet were people that I exchange, like you said, value with. Understand? These are people that I know that if I work with them in the near future, they will definitely have like an impact on your life. And so yeah, that's what networking is.
But is networking a smart strategy or just a softer name for connection? I know.
It's a smart strategy, I would say. It is, when you're networking with intention strategically. It's
So where is that line between access and favoritism?
Okay, let me say this. Between access and favoritism is when, let's say, someone cannot deliver, and I know this person cannot deliver, but yet I still want to give him that this benefit of that. But meanwhile, you're sure that this person will not be able to give you what you want, but because of, let's say, your brother or someone that you know that is higher than you, or something has told you that someone has told you that I want you to give this person an opportunity, but and I feel that's what you call favoritism. But as for access is I walk up to you and tell you this is what I can do, this is what I can do. Then because of that access you had to me, you can say, okay, I'll give you a try. You understand? I will give you an opportunity to show me what you can do.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. What is nepotism? A. Favoring relatives or friends unfairly in opportunity.
A.
B. Correct. So does nepotism kill talent or does talent eventually find its way?
I will see that one now.
Okay.
Go first. Okay.
Does nepotism kill talent
Or talent finds its way?
I would say yes and no, right? Because one thing is when you're giving somebody, let's say this opportunity, you're giving this your family member this opportunity, and the person you see that is detrimental to your business, right? The person is detrimental. The person is not giving you what you wanted. You understand? At that point now, see the person doesn't have the talent that you have. At that point now, you see that it was a wrong move for you to have made. But sometimes too, you can give someone that opportunity, you can give that to your cousin that opportunity, and he proves himself, and let's say that talent that you wanted, you trained it in him, you understand?
Yes.
And he now like became what you wanted him to be. And so I say yes and no.
But in my opinion, I would say talent still finds his way. You know, if you put a scenario of like two people, right? Give them equal opportunity. Maybe I think from the definition of nepotism is like it's like a form of favoritism
Yes.
based on this. So if you still put two people, right, to test them, the person who is more talented in what has put in more hours of work, right, would eventually actually to show. You understand? So at the end of the day, like talent will still find its way.
Find its way.
Yeah.
So what is meritocracy? Merit.
Meritocracy.
What is meritocracy? A system where people advance based on ability and performance. B. Correct. B. A system where people win by family name. That one is nepotism. So do you believe Nigerians still reward merit enough?
Yes.
Enough. No.
But they still
Why?
reward.
They
reward merit, but not
enough.
Why?
Okay. How will I put it now?
You believe nepotism is stronger than?
Yes, I believe definitely
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria, because I've been privileged to be in some kind of rooms, right? Kind of rooms that I'll tell you that I'm not meant to be in that room where I am currently, but because of let's say who I knew, I was privileged to be in that room. You understand? So I would say if it was meant to be between me and someone else, I would say okay, this guy even like deserves it more than me. Oh. But because of he doesn't know who I knew, but wasn't able to be in that same room. So I feel yes, it rewards. So at some point, he'll be able to enter that room I am, but not as at when I was in the room, not early enough. You understand? It will be later on for the person, but that was because he ended through merits. But me now that ended through nepotism, I was already in the room before you could get into the room.
So I have something to say that concerning that. Depending on the context, like if you, like the question you asked now was, does Nigeria reward merit enough? In my opinion, like when you merit something, but like how would I say it now? Okay, generally, right, the world itself, right, it kind of has a way to reward you when you're a good person and you're doing so. It's not really bound by Nigeria or that, but if you're talking about, let's say, when it comes to places of power or places of places of power, basically, that's when we might say, because I don't want to mention some instances because of nobody. That's why we can say, okay, because of this person knows this person, that's why he has just said that this person is destined to take over or to do this. But generally, I just feel like if you put in the work, like I would say luck, but I really don't know. But luck kind of finds you, and at the end of the day, the world rewards you for that your hard work. So,
For me, I believe in that. I have one belief that merit is not like I believe merit and talent or hard work or who deserves it are two different things, because people can merit something based on different circumstance. Someone can make it because I'm looking for a person from this place. I'm looking for a person from this place. Like it can be different levels of merit and all that. So in Nigeria, what is
You're treated.
okay? Let me ask this question. What is equity in a business context? A, the amount spent on food. B, a bank check number. C, a temporal title job. D, ownership value or share in a business. Correct. Would you rather own a small part of something or own all of something small?
Okay.
It will be like a small part of something big.
Like maybe $100,000. Now, would you rather own 10% or 20% from $100,000, or on $15,000 you own 100%?
I think I'd rather own everything or something small because I believe I can grow it.
But don't you think many people?
But when you put it in monetary terms, it becomes hard. It becomes.
Okay, let's say
it's
100,000 company.
It's limiting. Like when you put it in monetary terms now, the question becomes like limiting because when you ask it in general, like would I rather one small part of something or one thing, a small thing of my own, I would answer and say I would own something of my own because I believe I can expand that thing. And because when you own something, if you are in control of that thing, you can decide how the direction you want that thing to go, and which is better than just being a
small part.
Small part that don't really have a say, and you can't really grow something.
Yeah, that's true.
So you prefer full ownership
Yes,
rather than
because when you're having a little stake in something, there are lots of interest that come into play, right? You have to know, you have to maybe go through lots of processes before you take an action or something. But if you own, let's say you are the sole owner of your company, you can make the rules, you can make the decisions faster and quicker than when you say you have to pass from MD to GM, from GM to this thing. So I prefer to have full control over whatever I own.
What is diversification? A, copying one person's lifestyle. B, stopping all business activities. C, spreading money or efforts across options to reduce risk. Should young Nigerians focus on one thing deeply or build multiple income streams?
Young Nigerians should try to build multiple income streams. It's not easy, but they should try. Because I learned something from someone who I watched. When he usually practices put all your eggs in one basket and guide it and watch it very well. But that's you will learn. You learn slowly when you go that way, right? You learn slowly, and sometimes you can grow slowly. When you learn slowly, you're growing slowly. So diversifying, can help you learn faster, but you need to do it carefully and strategically. So that's why I say young Nigerians should try to build cash flow, multiple streams of cash flow.
To me, I feel focus is very important, right? Focus as in focusing on one thing over a particular period of time before diversifying, because focusing on one thing gives you a better chance at succeeding in it than, let's say, starting by spreading out. Let's say you want to start learning videography, but now to start learning videography, sales, public speaking, you want to learn everything at once. But if you learn videography early on, right, give yourself that time to master videography before going into another field. At least you still have something solid in your hand. And let's say you started all of them at once. At the end of the day, you can feel like there's this burnout that comes out from trying to learn everything at once. There's burnout that comes out from there.
So who do you think is more rewarding?
I feel focusing at an early age, because for young Nigerians, I feel when you're young, you should focus on something for like a period of time before you say, okay, we switch
Yes, money and diversify. What is generational wealth?
Like a question?
Yes.
Okay, so I would explain generational wealth as it transcends beyond money.
Okay.
Values
principles.
Yeah, values, principles, and what you own. Right? Values, principles, and what you own. The things that can be passed on. You understand, from one generation to the other. That's generational wealth. What can be passed on from one generation to the other? Not necessarily, money. Yes, that's how I see generational wealth. Basically, I think that's how.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with that very well, because if you look at these families that we say they have generational wealth, most times generational wealth ends in the second or third generation of that family. But you see the families that were able to instill certain discipline, certain
And values.
principles. Like today, you can say Rothschild family. Rothschild family is not only money that they put in place, there were some principles that they told that their children even now still uphold and follow. So yeah.
What is monopoly? A market with many equal sellers. B, a form of personal savings. C, a market situation where one seller does not supply. So do powerful people build blocks of opportunities for smaller players?
I said C first. I said
It is
C first.
So do powerful people build blocks of opportunities for smaller players, or is competition still possible?
Say it again,
Do
sorry.
powerful people block opportunities for smaller players, or you feel competition is still possible like in the real estate market?
In the real estate market, I would say competition is possible only when you can innovate, right? So if you're coming into the industry with the same strategy and the same way, that people who have been doing it 10 years ago are doing it and dominating, you will not only be invisible, but you might fade away if you don't innovate fast quickly. So creativity is actually what gives you an edge to compete.
Yeah.
So if you just come out the same way, you can't compete, because they've been there 10 years before. They know what the people you're going to meet, because it's the same industry. So innovation and creativity just gives you that edge to compete.
And okay, you said real estate, but let me give another suggestion. Exactly. Okay, like today's age now, we hear about AI. So something that I know is that most companies, let's say of old, they didn't really build with AI. Like they never built with AI in consideration with their companies. But now, current modern day companies build with AI. So they have this distinction and this opportunity to now finally play. But let's say now you want to build a company and you still want to follow what Microsoft did in 1990 something, in 2000. There's no way you can beat Microsoft, because there's already this dominance. But like you said, you have to be innovative to stand out in your time. Yeah.
So in Nigeria, what gives someone the biggest advantage? Is it skill, money, family name, or timing? In Nigeria of today,
I think it's relative, the answer.
Yes.
Skill, money. Say skill, money.
skill, money, family name, timing.
There's this,
Yeah, I believe in timing. I believe in positioning more than
exactly, there's
everything.
this statement that they say a moving man will eventually meet his luck. So in as much as you can have the family name, you can have all these things, when it's your time, it's your time.
Okay. So you can take your win and enjoy your food. But remember, in this country, sometimes the real game is not talent, it is access.
Yeah.